Hello, my friends. Greetings, 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 and welcome to the world of Widdershins. I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, what's in the box? I wonder. Well, we'll find out very, very soon. Here we go. Oh, now this one I can smell. Oh, the smell is so sweet and so delicious. Still squeaky though. Still creaky though. But what is it? It's a purple pickled onion. No, it's not. It looks like a purple pickled onion, doesn't it? That's hard to say. Purple pickled onion. This, my friends, is actually a fig. Do you like figs? I love figs. Oh, figs are so yummy and tasty, and in summer they smell so wonderful. But they grow mainly in hot countries, not so much in this country. And because this is a fig grown in a hot country, I think this can only be one story in particular. This must be one of the stories which Scheherazade told. Do you know Scheherazade? Probably the greatest storyteller in the entire world. Yeah, she told a collection of tales called 1001 Nights, which are also known as Arabian Nights. And do you know what? I have got Scheherazade here, right next to me. There we go. There's Scheherazade. I think I will play her some music, and then we'll see if she'll also not only tell you a story, but with a bit of luck, do a belly dance. Scheherazade, the greatest of all storytellers. Well, her stories have travelled far and wide. Her stories have reached every single country in the world. And when they visit a country, her stories, they change a little bit here and a little bit there. Sometimes the characters might change a little bit here and a little bit there. And one of her stories is actually famous in a place called Swaffham in Norfolk. In Norfolk, there's a tale called The Pedlar of Swaffham, but that came from Arabian Nights, yeah? That came from Scheherazade. Scheherazade's, bit of a tongue twister, that name. Scheherazade's version is actually called The Dream. Quite a simple name. So I'm going to tell you Scheherazade's dream. Actually, it's not her dream. It's someone else's dream. But I'll tell you who that is. That I'm talking about is a man called Judder. Do you know Judder? Well, Judder was a fruit farmer. And he was so poor, he had to mend the holes in his pockets with his own beard. He was incredibly poor. Yeah, and he had bad luck as well. Really, really bad luck. Such bad luck. And he lived on the outskirts of Baghdad in a ramshackle hut on a scribble-scrabble hill where the grass only grows in patches. And in his fields, just outside the hut, were lots and lots of fruit trees, but they were all bald. And he had a single fig tree, just one fig tree, and this fig tree could only grow figs on half of its branches. You see, he had terrible bad luck. He's the sort of person who, whenever he had money, would lose it quite quickly. Not because of silliness, not like Lazy Jack. He wouldn't balance a coin on his nose and let it roll off and trundle under a bush, nothing like that. No, it's just that his bad luck meant he would lose his money quite quickly. For instance, one day he wanted to buy a new pair of trousers. So he was about to leave when he noticed drip, drip, drip through the roof. Yeah? The roof had a leak in it. So he had to spend the money, instead of buying trousers, he had to spend that money on buying new tiles. Another time, he was off to the market to buy some chocolate. He had just got himself enough money to buy a bar of chocolate, and on the way there, he felt a bit weird on his right foot, and he took his shoe off, and he had a great big hole in his shoe. So he had to spend that money on leather instead to mend his shoe. And another time, he'd gone to the market, he'd actually bought some stuff, he was carrying it home, and rip, the bag just split, just like that. Food and groceries went everywhere. He had such bad luck. And he had bad luck with his fruit farm, his orchard. You see, the reason the trees were bald was because a swarm of very hungry, pesky bugs had visited one day.
Oh, look at that, an orchard. Yummy, yummy, says my tummy. Oh, we like fruit. I'm going to eat it all. Oh, look, oranges. Oh, look, lemons. And only a handful of figs. We'll save the figs till the very end.
So they dived down and they started work on all the oranges.
Yummy, yummy oranges. Make all marmalade in our tum-tummy tum-tums. Bzzz. Let's move on to the lemons next. Yeah, let's go on to the lemons. Oh, I love lemons. Nom, 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 nom.
They ate all the lemons.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Lemonade in our tummy, tummy, tummy. Now let's go to the figs.
And they'd only started work on the figs when it started to rain. And these pesky bugs, they hated the rain. So they flew off and sulked in a cave somewhere. So the fig tree, the only fig tree, it could only grow figs on half of it. I have to say the figs that it grew were absolutely delicious. And people in Baghdad went crazy for them. But he wasn't making enough money at all. There was nowhere near enough money for him to live off. So night after night he would go to bed worrying and worrying and worrying. He worried so much he could hardly sleep. But one night he actually did manage to sleep. And when he slept, he had a most peculiar dream. Jada! Jada! Listen to me. I am the voice of all dreams. Go to the city of Samarkand and your fortune will change. Go, Jada. Go. Well, there are dreams and there are dreams, aren't there? Some dreams you remember just like that. Some dreams you go for a whole couple of days without thinking about it. Then suddenly you're having a cup of tea and a bourbon biscuit and ping, you remember that dream. And sometimes you only remember little bits of the dream. And sometimes the dream has felt so real that you believe it actually happened. But there was something weird about Jada's dream. When he woke up, he realised he'd had a dream, but he couldn't remember anything about it. What was my dream, he thought. What was my dream? Was it about tap dancing elephants? No, it wasn't that one. Was it the one about chocolate bicycles? There I am riding a chocolate bicycle and it melts in. No, it wasn't that one either. I know, scoring the winning goal in the World Cup. No, it wasn't that one either. And all day long he couldn't think of anything else. All day long he kept thinking about the dream. What dream did I have? As he pruned away at the branches of his orange trees, hoping to bring it back to life. What was my dream? And he didn't know why he was so bothered about it, but he was very bothered about this dream. And again, that night, he managed to fall asleep. And as he slept, the same dream came back to him. Jada, Jada, listen to me. I am the voice of all dreams. Go to the city of Samarkand, and your fortune will change. Go, Jada. Go. Well, again, he woke up and he couldn't remember a thing about the dream, but he knew he'd had a dream and he knew it was important. What was my dream? Grow wings and fly to the moon? No, it wasn't that one. enter the national cheese eating competition and win. No, it wasn't that one, although that would be rather good. Ride a woolly mammoth, like Ugg. No, what was my dream? All day long he thought about what dream it was and he couldn't remember, and it really perplexed him. He knew it was important to remember, but it really, really bothered him and he couldn't remember a thing. Anyway, again, he fell asleep that night, and again, for a third time, he had the dream. Judder, Judder, listen to me. I am the voice of all dreams. Go to the city of Samarkand, and your fortune will change. Go, Judder, go. And in the morning, that's it. I remember my dream. Go to the city of Samarkand and your fortune will change. Well, that's what I need to do, surely. But hang on, that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Go to Samarkand because of a dream. And he quickly looked up. Samarkand, that's, my goodness me, that's 2,779.7 kilometres away. Or if you prefer imperial, that's 1,726.19 miles away. That would be crazy business to do that. To walk all that way from Baghdad to Samarkand because of a dream. I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. But he had nothing to lose. He had nothing at all to lose. And he thought, my fortune could change. All his fruit trees were bald and he only had half a fig tree full of figs. That's not enough to live off. So he spent the rest of his money on buying a pair of iron shoes. And he went on his way to Samarkand. All 2,779.7 kilometres or 1,726.19 miles. It took him weeks and weeks and weeks to get there. If he was lucky, he got the occasional lift on the back of a camel, or the back of an elephant, or the back of a rhinoceros, or the back of a horse. But it still took him ages to get there, and he was lucky that people were generous on the way. They would give him a little bit of rice here, a little bit of bread there. But by the time he reached Samarkand, he was starving, and he had worn out those iron shoes to absolutely nothing. There he was, barefoot in Samarkand. Now, I have to say, Samarkand is and was at the time a very, very beautiful city. So pretty. Painted, coloured tiles all over the place. It looked like it had been built or designed by the same architect who designed the gingerbread cottage. So many colours. But he was too tired and too worn out to appreciate the beauty of Samarkand. So he slumped down beneath a tall tower just on the edge of the marketplace, and he fell asleep, thinking, what have I done? And when he woke in the morning, there in front of him were a couple of coins, just 2 or 3, just enough to buy some bread, but certainly not enough to change his fortune. Someone had obviously thought that he was a beggar. Well, he was grateful. He bought some bread and he started wandering around the place, hoping that his fortune would change just like that. But that doesn't happen. Why have I done this? Why have I done this? I'm a complete fool. I'm completely bananas bonkers. Why have I come to Samarkand? And he was so hungry. Well, for the next 2 days, he lived like that. People would give him the occasional coin. He'd buy some bread. He would buy some water. He would drink the water just like this. Glug, 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 glug. That's what the people in Samarkand did whenever Judder took a drink. But he still thought he was a complete fool. And he was just about to sort of, I was going to say pack up his things, but he didn't have any things. He was just about to leave and walk all that way back to Baghdad when he heard a very shrill voice shout at him from the top of that tower.
Oi! Oi, you! Scruffy boy!
He looked up.
Oi! Oi, you! Scruffy boy, who are you? Who are you? What are you doing here? Who are you? Tell me now.
Judder was a bit surprised by this. My name is Judder, strange woman at the window.
Judder? 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 Now that's a really bonkers name, isn't it? That's a really silly name. You want to get yourself a good name. You want to get yourself a good name like mine.
Well, who are you, if you don't mind telling me?
My name is Granny Grimblenose, and mind your own business. I'm the cleaner. I'm the cleaner of Samarkand. Now, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I want to know. Tell me right now.
Well, Judder felt a bit foolish saying this, but he said, I've come here because I had a dream.
You did what? You did what? You came all this way from Baghdad to Samarkand because of a dream? You really are bananas bonkers.
And I have to say, Judder agreed with her. But he had to explain. He had to sort of make it seem that there was a reason for him doing this. I know it sounds a bit weird, he said. I know it sounds odd, but I had to come here because the dream was so real. It said if I came to Samarkand, my fortune would change if I came here.
My goodness me. You are a prize rune. That was meant to sound like you are a prize loon, aren't you? I do like to go in for a bit of spoonerism every now and then because that's what Granny Grimblenose does best. A little bit of spoonerism. Anyway, you are a prize loon. To believe that, you're a bigger fool than that lazy Jack. Yeah. You're a bigger fool than that king who wished to touch the moon. You're a bigger fool than all three sillies piled one on top of the other. Do you know what? If I was as big a fool as you, I'd be halfway to Baghdad right now.
Well, why would you be halfway to Baghdad right now?
Well, you see, I, too, have had a dream for the last 3 days. My dream was really, really weird, but yet really, really clear. In my dream it said, "Go to the city of Baghdad. Go to the city of Baghdad. Your fortune will change if you go to the city of Baghdad." In fact, it was a bit more spooky than that. It was a bit more, "Oh, go to the city of Baghdad. Your fortune will change, Granny Grimblenose. Go to the city of Baghdad." But do you think I'm a fool? Do you think I'm a prize idiot? Bit more spoonerism, almost. A prize idiot? I wouldn't go there. Why would I go there? Apparently, all I had to do, right, was find, on the outskirts of Baghdad, I had to find a ramshackle hut, yeah. A ramshackle hut on a scribble-scrabble hill where the grass only grows in patches. And outside the ramshackle hut was a field, and in that field were lots of bald fruit trees, you know, orange trees and lemon trees, but they were all bald, all of them, bald. And there was a single fig tree, just one, a single fig tree, which could only grow figs on half of its branches. Well, do you know what I had to do in my dream? Do you know what I had to do? I'll tell you, you nosy Parker. I'll tell you what I did in my dream. I had to dig underneath the fig tree. Yeah. I had to dig underneath the fig tree, and I found, in my dream that is, I found a pot of gold. But look at me. Do I look mad to you? Do I look a fool to you? Do I look completely crazy to you? Of course I don't. You rude little man. You Judder, you strange man from Baghdad. Of course I'm not mad. I'm not going to go 2,779 miles, 0.7. I left that out. Not miles, 277.9.7 kilometres, I should say. Or if you prefer imperial, 1,726.19. No, I'm not reading that. I'm trying to memorise it. Would I go all that way? Just because of a dream? Just because it said there was money? Of course not! I'm not bonkers.
Well, I have to say, Granny Grimblenose had described Judder's house in perfect detail. What if dreams do come true? What if dreams do come true, he thought. But how am I going to get back to Baghdad? My iron shoes are worn to nothing. How am I going to get there? Well, at that very moment, as he was wondering what to do, a sandstorm swirled around in the middle of the marketplace. It swirled high and it swirled low, like a hurricane and like a tornado. And in the centre of that tornado was a man on a flying carpet. "Hello, my friend! It is me, Abu Hassan, flying carpet specialist. I have flying carpets for all occasions. They are all clean and efficient and environmentally friendly. The only way to travel and the only way to fly unless you are a bird. Come fly with me. I'm on my way to Baghdad, my friend. Would you like a lift?" Well, it was almost as if Judah's prayers had been answered. He climbed on the back of Abu Hassan's carpet and then up, up and away he flew, all the way to Baghdad. And when he said goodbye to Abu Hassan, and they became very good friends after that and kept in contact via a carrier pigeon, there he saw his ramshackle hut on the Scribble-Scrabble hill, which could only grow grass on patches. And there was his field full of bald fruit trees, orange trees and lemon trees with nothing on their branches, and a single fig tree which could only grow fruit on half of its branches. Well, he grabbed a spade and he started to dig underneath that fig tree, and he dug and he dug and he dug, and there, growing amongst the roots, was a pot of gold. A pot of gold there amongst the roots. He was rich. He was rich beyond belief. His dream did come true. He went all the way to Samarkand and his fortune changed. Well, my friends, that's pretty well the end of the story. And if you don't believe that that was true, I can prove it. It is true. Because in this box right here, right now, I have Judah's iron shoes that he wore away to nothing. And you know what? There they are. That was the dream. Thank you very much, my friends. TTFN. Bye.